I would even go as far to say, I'm curious what you think about this. I've been thinking about this recently.
Okay.
That being a good person, what I often thought being a good person was kind of like you're saying, like in that situation, getting it right, recognizing that your husband's doing something nice for you, and being like, "Yo, thanks, baby, I appreciate that. You know, you're so grateful for what you're doing." That's being the good person, and sure, that's a good thing. But I think in real life, being a good person is we're all going to mess up. Just acknowledging and catching it when we mess up. That's actually what being a good person is. Finding those moments where you got it wrong and having like the self-awareness and frankly the courage to admit and be like, nope, I got that one wrong, let me get it right next time. And it's a weird thing, like in some ways it's really simple, but there's this idea that like being a good person is just recognizing how you're a bad person sometimes and just owning that and acknowledging it. And I find such a similarity with my son. It happens often where something similar will happen and I'll bite his head off about something, and I really try and make an effort to go back to him and model him and show him like, yo, I got that wrong. And it's funny because he'll say the same thing, like, don't worry, daddy, it's cool, it's all good. And I'm like, I appreciate that, but it's not all good. That wasn't cool what I just did. You didn't deserve that.
Exactly.
So I think that's a beautiful illustration of what it actually looks like to do this work. It's not perfect, it's not beautiful, it's messy at times, but
Yep.
that's what it's about.
It's okay. It's okay to be messy sometimes. And as you just said something key, as a parent, we have to do that with our kids. Because you know what? You're teaching your kids something that when they go out into the world, they're going to allow people to do all kinds of things to them and not expect apologies. They're going to feel like all the adults are right all the time, and some of them are not. I'm telling you, some of them are not.
A lot of them.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And you know, and that's one of the things with me working in a school. I have a really hard time with parents that take everything that a teacher says for the gospel. Like, oh, no, you're wrong. The teacher said, listen to, if I can offer parents anything, listen to your children. Okay. Give them a voice. And I'm not saying allow them to be disrespectful and all of it, but allow them a voice, hear them out, you understand? And be their greatest advocates. Because sometimes kids are not wrong and kids are not the ones, you know, making these things up. I've seen it with my own eyes, you know? So, but do you know that there's some companies that take like the supervisors, the administrators, the leaders of the company, they train them to not say you were wrong. So sometimes you know you're wrong, but that's where your integrity comes in. You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean.
And there's ways to be savvy with things where you're a leader, but yet, and that's the type of leader I want to be. That's the type of leader I would like to work for. One that can speak and say, you know what? Yeah, I ain't get that one right, but come on, we're gonna work together. We got this. I honor that and respect that. But leaders that constantly try to throw the ball and then hide their hand, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. And you have to know who you are in this world, or people like that they'll mess you up every time. And that's why I like parents to deal with their kids in a certain way where they have a relationship, a real relationship. You need it, because you cannot send your children out into the world like that, unprepared, you know, not knowing that my father, my mother has my back 100% all the time, even when I'm wrong. You understand? That my husband would tell me, babes, I know even if you're wrong, I'm gonna ride with you, and then I'll deal with you when you get home. You know what I mean? And it has to be that way, because when we send our kids out there into the world, they will get eaten alive if they don't know that even if I messed up, I could still go to my dad or my mom and be like, Mom, you know, like, what am I do? You know what I mean? That helps them, that supports them. But
and it's an important distinction you said too, because it's not saying they can do anything they want.
Not
There's
at
still
all.
accountability. There's still, you know, that part of it, but you can hold somebody accountable and support them and love them and be there for them at the same time. And I think you said it, right? Like if we keep sending kids, to me, my opinion, like that's what we've been doing for a long time, is sending people out into the world that way. And we see the world we live in.
Yeah.
We see the issues we're facing today. To me, if that's not evidence that, like, and you hear it a lot. I have conversations with my family and people I love, and I get it. Everybody sees it differently, but that whole mentality of like, the problem today is kids don't have enough respect and they don't have enough this. Listen, respect is important. I don't disagree, but we have to be honest with ourselves, back to where we started here, and look back at the history of society, the world, the country, whatever, and say like, we did that approach for a long time, and look what it got us. Like there's some bad stuff going on. Let's adjust. It doesn't mean everything's broken, but we got to fix some stuff. Some stuff ain't working. And it's the same concept you started this show with, which is why I think it's such an important value. It's just at a more macro level now, and at the scale of society, of us being able to own our shit and look and check and be like, all right, we got some stuff wrong. Let's be better now.
Absolutely.